Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. Let's talk about more comic books. This week, I'm going to be talking about in this video Transformers number 5, Image Skybound. Very good stuff. Let's take a look at their creative team. This book is written by Daniel Warren Johnson with Mike Spicer. On colors, letters by Rose Wooton. Now, if you haven't been keeping up, the first arc seems to be coming to a close in issue 6. We will have a change in the creative team. Daniel Warren Johnson will keep writing, but we will introduce artist Jorge Corona, which I'm very excited for. I love Daniel Warren Johnson's art, but I also know that it can be easy to produce a whole book all on your own, especially a monthly ongoing like this. But let's talk about this issue. In this issue, Starscream revives one of the most powerful Decepticons to eliminate the Autobots once and for all. So yeah, they've been, as we know from the get-go, Decepticons and Autobots, their forces have been depleted. They've been using different methods to bring their compatriots back. Of course, the Decepticons are using a lot more underhanded tactics. Both groups have suffered losses. Both, especially on the Autobot side, they've lost human people. We have Sparky in the hospital, and of course his dad just kind of trying to make sure that he's doing everything that he can do to get out of that. So in that way, Daniel Warren Johnson really parallels a lot of his dad and the feelings that are going on with Optimus Prime. So they are very interestingly in the first opening pages. We actually get to see how those parallels work, right? Of course, we know that whether you've been in the war as a human or whether you've been fighting your whole life as an Autobot, casualties are going to come your way, and you're going to have to do some things that you're probably not very proud of. So let's take a look at some of the preview art here. As I mentioned, we open up with those parallels as they're kind of sharing war stories here. It's really interesting just to kind of see the same panels, mirrored with obviously on the human side and then the Autobots. And it just, Daniel Warren Johnson just has a really interesting way to kind of lay this out in these opening pages. And then really changing the tone of the story, or I guess maybe even more applying the tone. Like Russ Wooton's colors here are very muted in this page, which really adds to the somberness of everything that's going on. But then on the flip side, I think Daniel Warren Johnson brings a lot of comedy here. Specifically, Starscream is such an unhinged character. I really, really enjoy seeing that. So even just this big old punt, like you're gonna bring some of the Decepticons back. Let's make sure it's the ones that count because, like Starscream says, more is more. So yeah, before I get into a little bit of spoilers, I really enjoyed this issue. I'm just gonna go over some of my favorite panels in a moment, but I think that we get to meet some really interesting characters. I love the kind of pacing of the book where it's like we're checking in on the Autobots, and then you get kind of like this, throwback to the old school cartoons, like when they would cut away in the meanwhile at the Legion of Doom, like stuff like that, where you kind of go see what the bad guys are kind of doing. So, all right, let's talk about a little bit of spoilers. So if you haven't read the issue, come back after you read it. So we do see that Thundercracker is back online. We also see Frenzy and Reflector. Um, I think that those are really interesting characters to bring back. But some of my favorites where Optimus definitely makes a decision that wants to make sure that the Warriors are brought back immediately after they kind of put together something at the dam to create energy. So we have RC here. Also, during the fight, I pulled out this panel because just really cool stuff. It's very much like high stylized, even almost feels like anime if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. Like just Optimus Prime taking care of business with a big gun, and then really cool to see the Devastator and the Constructobots come back and make the giant robot. So like really cool stuff. I those are some of the bots that I've only seen in the movies, and of course they look very different. So it's really cool to see them all kind of come to life in the pages of this book. So really, really enjoy this issue. I can't wait to see what happens in the next one. I know things are going to kind of really escalate. So if you have read this book, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.